In this guide, we'll be looking at using Serif DrawPlus to create an animation. To begin, we need to download a background picture. In this example, we're going to be making a digital aquarium, and as such, we need some kind of background picture to act as our aquarium. I've already downloaded an ocean picture from the internet. The first task is to open up Serif DrawPlus. Using the wizard, I'm going to choose a keyframe animation. And I'm going to choose a large rectangle. I now find myself on the main program page. From the Insert menu, I'm going to choose Picture from File. And I'll navigate to where I saved the ocean picture, and I'll press Open. The mouse pointer has now changed, and I'm going to draw out exactly where I'd like my background to go. I'm going to make it fit the entirety of the canvas. And this is my background to my digital aquarium. I now want to add some fish to my background. In the right hand side, I've got a gallery of some different animals. There's a wide variety of clip art in here. But as it's an aquarium, I'm going to choose the goldfish. So I click and drag in. I can then manipulate the size of the goldfish and place it somewhere on screen. At the bottom of the screen, I have my storyboard. For this digital animation, I'd like it to be 20 keyframes long. So I'll click Insert and change the number of keyframes to 20. I could change the keyframe duration at this point, but for now I'm going to leave it for a second. You'll now notice that there are 20 keyframe animations, and currently they're all the same. And I can navigate to the first, to somewhere in the middle, or to the very last. Now, ensuring I'm on the final keyframe, I'm actually going to move the clip art image of the fish down to the side. By doing that, you'll notice that a path has been drawn. The application will take my fish from the very beginning frame in my original placement and will place it eventually in my final destination. And along the way, different areas will be present. I'm going to preview what this would look like using the preview button. I'll notice in this animation that the fish is moving from my original location to the endpoint across the 20 keyframes that I've inserted. Closing down the preview button, I'm now quite happy with this. I'm going to export the movie as a flash file. To do this, I go to the File menu, Export, Export as Flash SWF, and I can save it in a convenient location with a particular name. I can now navigate to where I exported my Flash document to, and I can open it up, and I'll notice that the digital animation of my fish tank is exactly as planned. At this point, I'm going to save my project, and again, I'll save it to a convenient location and this will allow me to edit it at a later point. Exactly the same process can be used for any given animation. For example, I might now want to produce a jungle-themed digital animation. I've downloaded an asset of a jungle background to a convenient location. By clicking File, New from Startup Wizard, again, I'll choose a keyframe animation, and again, I'm going to go for a large rectangle. I can insert my picture from File, again, in this case, the jungle from my location, and I can draw out the size that I require. Again, taking it to all the edges of the canvas. Because it's the jungle, I might decide that this time I'd like an elephant. So I click and drag in, and I can make it a given size. And I might also put a different animal in, perhaps a small frog. By inserting from my storyboard 20 keyframes and pressing OK, I can now maneuver from the last frame, the final position of my animals. I could also decide to make them smaller or bigger. Having a preview of that, I'll notice my animation running over the 20 keyframes, and in this example, my elephant is getting bigger, whilst my frog is reducing in size. When I'm happy with that, I can export using the File, Export, Export as /SWF, and saving to a location that is easy to access and giving it a name. And I'm also going to save my working document again in a location that I can find. If I navigate now to all the files, I notice my original jungle background, the jungle SWF flash file, which I can open and check is working as I've animated, and my original jungle master animation to be used within DrawPlus so I can edit later.